Hi, this is tofu extra firm, tofu cubed into small chunks, and they are being cooked on a bed of chopped tomatoes, white onions, and ginger and curry leaves on tiny bit of sesame oil, and I'm cooking this on an iron cast Lodge brand full iron cast skillet. Made in the USA, proudly made in the USA. And I believe the onions are US ones, and the tofu that I used is this Seoul brand, Seoul Cuisine, and it is, I'm not sure from where, but it's widely available everywhere, this kind. Okay, let's see how it's going to turn out. I also added cumin seeds and toasted them until they are slightly brown on the sesame oil before adding the chopped onions and ginger and then tomato. Okay, after letting these chopped Vidalia onions from the state of Georgia, and Ontario vineyard grown tomatoes. They were like bright red, like in the maple leaf, and the tofu is cooking on the tomato and the onions. And now, after 15 minutes, they are being slow cooked on a very low heat. I'm going to start stirring it, and I'm going to think what I'm going to do next. I think I'm going to stir it, mix it, and let it be on slow cooking for another few minutes before I add some curry powder. Actually, I'm not going to use curry powder. I'm going to use sambar powder to be less spicy, and it has a lot more ingredients than just the chili powder. So let me just stir this and let it sit for a little bit, and then I am going to add the spices, the chili powder, sambar powder. Okay, let's see. Now after a few minutes, now say about 10 minutes, the tofu and the tomato are cooking on their own extracted water. I did not add too much oil, just 1 tablespoon. I'm going to add this sambar powder. This is a new brand. I'll tell you what the ingredients are in this sambar powder, and it's a full tablespoon heap of sambar powder. Maybe I'll add a little bit more, not a whole lot, a little bit more like that, and it's adding to your own taste. And I'm also I collected the water from where the tofu was soaking in when it's packed with water. I collected that water in a soup bowl or cereal bowl, and I'm going to pour that in here. This is my own way of doing this, so just bear with me. And I have poured that water, and I'm probably going to add some almond milk a little bit later. But first, let's see if all this is going to cook a little bit more to get the spices mixed and the tofu gets sauteed on the spices. Okay. Now after a few minutes, the tofu and the tomato has mixed well with the spices, and they are also cooking in the water that was the tofu was soaking in the packaging. And I'm also going to add a tiny or a little bit of almond milk, and this is to make some gravy for this dish. And I'm just going to add like a little bit, a tiny bit of this almond milk, not too much. And this is 365 brand organic fortified unsweetened almond milk or almond beverage. I'm not supposed to use the word milk with any of these nut milks, so I will refrain from using that. And I'm also going to add some hummus, and this will give some creamy texture to the gravy. And this hummus has some spinach topping, and this hummus is a well-known brand here in Ontario. It is Fontaine Sante, and it is Greek olives, not spinach. So I have added that, and I am going to stir that, and this is all going to cook for another 2 minutes or 4 minutes, on also again on slow heat. And I'm stirring this before letting it rest on the slow heat for about 4 minutes. I'm going to sprinkle some fresh coriander leaves, which I have already chopped, and I'm going to sprinkle them on here, and for 4 minutes, and it's going to be done after that. And let's see, let me add the coriander leaves, and I'm going to sprinkle them and then stir it again, and it gives a nice aroma. And I'm going to let it sit for just a few minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and they are all, throughout. It takes a little bit of time, but since I'm using very little oil and everything is cooking on their own watery juice, it extracts the aroma and the entire nutrients in those ingredients, in the tofu and tomato. And this sambar powder that I use is Niru brand, and it has chili, coriander, tur dal, gram dal, urid dal, pepper, cumin, turmeric, and fenugreek, and it's widely available here. And let's see, I'm just going to let it rest for 3 more minutes, and we'll be done. Okay, let's see. Okay, now this is the final few seconds. I'm going to actually turn off the stove and let it cook on the heat. And it is not, I wish I had gas stove. This is an electric grill, so I am just going to stir it, and everything is going to be done. This will be great with rice, or ideally I would like to have this with which I miss very much, from freshly made rotis and chapatis and parathas from Patel Brothers. They make in front of the customers, and they have many varieties, and this is a dish that will go very well with those freshly made rotis. And I'm just going to take this and put it here in this dish, and I'm all done, and it's ready, and it's going to be served. And you can try and tell me how you like it. And this is very healthy. Everything is being slow cooked, no added water, and very little spices, and no huge amount of oil, and the sesame oil. And the sesame oil I used is Ideum, the famous brand that is mostly or widely available everywhere. It is from Tamil Nadu, and Ideum Nallanai it is called, and that's what I added. And it's just 1 tablespoon, whereas in a lot of the cooking shows that are coming from India, they show adding a lot of oil, but here in this dish, you don't have to add a lot of oil, especially if you use a cast iron skillet, and it distributes the heat evenly, and it gives you the flavor and the aroma, the ginger, the onion, the tomatoes, and the tofu when they cook. And it's like equivalent to getting fresh air when you go out. It's a good therapy. It is can be fun filled and fulfilling as if you driving on a convertible on this very sunny spring day. So enjoy, try it, and let me know if you like it. Have fun. Great. See you next time.